Hi, I'm Teresa and welcome to my channel. Today, it's a very exciting time because it is the 1 year anniversary of me starting my YouTube channel. This is so unreal to me. It does not feel like it's been a year, but it has been such a great year. I am so beyond glad that I started this channel. Honestly, one of the absolute best decisions I made last year. Genuinely don't know what I'd have done during lockdown without it. I wouldn't have so many friends that I do now. Starting this channel was such a good idea. It really helped me so much in so many different ways. It's had an amazing impact on me as a person, on my reading, just on everything, and I'm just so very glad I took the leap and I started it. So to celebrate this 1 year anniversary, I thought I would do the BookTube birthday tag. This is just a short week tag created by Average Joe Reads, and I will leave the original below. And it's just celebrating a bit of my previous year on BookTube. So yes, let's just get started on the tag. So the first prompt is, how many years on BookTube are you celebrating? I'm celebrating 1 year. I started my channel on the 24th of February 2020. And I wore this exact outfit in my first video, and I have not worn this top since because I just associate it with that video. I'm like, I can't wear that. That's my first BookTube video top. I can't wear it. So it's been a whole year since I've worn this top, which is just ridiculous. So we're breaking the curse or whatever is on this top and we're wearing it today. So if you're watching on the day this video goes up, it's not quite yet my BookTube birthday. I'm 2 days early, but I'm not changing my upload schedule. But I am hoping to do a little live stream on my actual YouTube birthday, the 24th, the Wednesday. So if you'd be interested in celebrating with me, maybe doing some reading, then come join when the live stream goes up on the Wednesday. It'd probably be evening UK time, so come join. The second prompt is, what are 3 of your favourite videos you've made in the past year and why? So I think my favourite, okay, so in no particular order, I think my favourites would be my first Sapphic Reads video, and I'll actually talk about this one quite a bit for one of the later questions, so I'm not going to say too much now, but basically just for what it started, and I'll develop on that in a minute. The second one would be my 2021 Sapphic releases video. I just love my energy in this video. It's so chaotic and excited, and I hadn't realised when I was filming it how very over the top it was, but I feel like you can just tell how very genuinely excited I am, and I love it so much. It is just one of my favourite videos because of my energy in it. And also, obviously, the subject matter is something I really love, and I hope that this video actually really helped support some of these books and authors that I mentioned, and that it helped people find books to add to their TBR for this year, and I just hope that it was useful to people. It seems to be, it's one of my most watched videos. I just loved doing it so much. I loved all the research for it and creating my list of books coming out in 2021. It was so fun, and I'm excited to do it for 2022 releases. I've already got a little list. It's going to be a good year, guys. And the third video I would say would be my review of One Last Stop by Casey McKiston. If you can't tell by the amount of times I plug that review in my videos, but I was just really proud of this video. So before I filmed it and when I was filming, I was very worried that I wouldn't be able to talk about just one book like in detail, eloquently, for a decent amount of time to film a review. But I did, and I managed. I'm really proud of how it came out, and I also love my excitement over the book. It's one of my absolute favourites, and I really liked it, and I'm proud of being able to do this more in-depth analytical video compared to just talking about a book very briefly. I would like to do some more videos like this, just more in-depth reviews or a video dedicated to one book, so let me know if you're interested in that. But my kind of worry with this is that they do tend to get less views, and although views are obviously not the most important thing, it is quite it's quite off-putting to film and create a video and put all this effort into something you know won't get your normal amount of engagement, and it can be just quite disheartening seeing that. But ultimately it's something I did enjoy and I'm proud of having those skills, and I would like to improve those reviewing skills a bit and do some more in the future. So the next prompt is, what did you struggle with on BookTube and how did you overcome it in the past year? So I think my main struggle would really be consistency. So originally I was just kind of uploading whenever, and although this did mean like on average once a week or once every 2 weeks, it was very hit or miss, and it was possible that I would go 2 weeks without uploading a video and not actually notice because I didn't have that set, this is when I'm uploading. But when I began uni again in September, I said, you know, Mondays are upload days, and having that kind of deadline, if you like, to work to really helps just make sure I get a video done and to be consistent. And I just like having that kind of guide and thing to work towards, and I think it's really helped me remain consistent and be able to plan my week and my studies and everything around that, or plan doing that around my studies. The studies are an important part. Something I'm also trying to remember is that it is actually okay to miss an upload day or to be a bit late or something like that. My studies are what is most important and I do need to prioritize those, and I'm very busy, so I need to just be able to remember that there's no horrible negative consequences of me not uploading on a Monday at 3:30 p.m. I can be late, or I can postpone it by a day, or I can just go, you know what, this week, let's just write it off. It's not happening. I am busy. And yes, that is a massive stress relief, and I need to just remember that. Another thing that's helped me remaining consistent is actually filming videos in advance and kind of bulk filming a couple at a time. Because I spend time at both my mum's house and my dad's, and I film at my mum's, I have only a few days where I can actually film during the week, and so I need to work out my time to make sure that I've got a couple of hours on one of those days where I can film, and where also the house is going to be quiet and no background noise. My house is usually very loud, and it's rare that I'll get a moment to myself to film, so I really do need to plan quite far in advance with that. But when I film videos in advance, it means that I can take advantage of a day where I've got quiet and film a bunch, and that means I'm kind of all set for another couple of weeks, and that really helps with being able to post consistently and not have to worry and stress about, will I get time to film this week or not. The next prompt is, choose one moment from the past year on BookTube that you would love to relive. And for this one, I think I would choose uploading my first Sapphic Reads video, because when I was planning this one and when I first uploaded it, well, first up, my channel was a lot smaller then, and I hadn't done any kind of dedicated Sapphic content before. I'd mentioned a couple of the books I'd been reading in videos, but there'd been no, this is Sapphic. And so I was quite nervous to do it, and I honestly didn't think that the video would get a lot of views. I thought it would flop. But it did not. It really did not. And I remember looking at Studio once I had uploaded it. This is, for those of you who aren't on YouTube, this is where you see all your analytics and everything, and it'll show you how many views you've got, all of that, compared to previous videos. And I remember looking at that and just being like, because it was so much more straight away. It really just took off, and it was the first time I'd had a video do that, and it was the best feeling to know that people actually did care when I talked about Sapphic books. And it really, the success of that video, the support I got for that video, is really what encouraged me and gave me the confidence to continue creating content dedicated to Sapphic books. And I am just so very grateful that that happened. It was just perfect. Talking about Sapphic books on YouTube has really helped with my own kind of working out my identity and confidence in my identity, my sexuality, being a lesbian, all of that. And just having the space to do so has just helped so much, and I'm so grateful for that first video for giving me the place to do that, and knowing that there was people that were going to listen and that I could do this. Because now, it's so weird to think about it, because now that's obviously what I'm known for, and I changed my channel name to reflect that and all of that. And it's just so strange to think that I was worried that people wouldn't care, and now I'm kind of based my channel and the identity of my channel on Sapphic books. So yes, that just was the absolute best moment, and I'm so glad that it went the way it did. I genuinely can't imagine what would have happened with my channel, how different it would be now if that hadn't gone as it had. And if I hadn't received the support that I did when I uploaded that video. So the next prompt is shout out a huge supporter of your channel, and I'm not I can't pick just one person, that feels so bad. So I just want to take this as a kind of opportunity to say thank you so much to everyone who's supported my channel. Whether you just watch videos or if you engage and interact, either way, I'm so glad to have you here, so glad you enjoy watching my videos. I'm just very grateful. And to those of you who do interact and comment, whether on YouTube or across other platforms as well, I just know that I'm so glad to have you, and I recognize your names over different platforms, and it just makes me so excited to see. And it's like, I don't know, I love it so much, be able to have this little community we've got here. It's so damn cool. I love it an awful lot. So yes, thank you to everyone who has supported my channel. Truly do not know where I would be without you, where I would be without this channel, so thank you for giving me this space. And also shout out to the Sapphic Disaster Solidarity group chat. This is a group chat with a couple of my friends, and I love them all so much, and I'm so glad that they help me out with videos and everything, as well as just screaming about Sapphic books and being Sapphic disasters. Meeting these people and creating this group chat and this friendship is one of my favourite things to come of last year, and I just love them so much. The next prompt is, what's the best book you've read in the past year? And okay, short answer, go watch my 2020 favourites video and you'll find a few. My proper answer would be the Falling in Love montage by Kiera Smith. I do not think this is going to be a huge surprise, but how could I not choose this one? Although I could say that I've potentially read better books objectively in the past year, there's been no book that's had such a key impact on me personally than the Falling in Love montage. I talk about this in the 2020 faves video, so I'm not going to go into too much detail here, but this book was really key in me accepting my identity as a lesbian, and it gave me the confidence to say the word lesbian out loud. If you look back at some of my previous videos, I very much stepped away from using it, and be able to say it out loud, to use it to describe myself, all of that, it really came from, as a starting point, the Falling in Love montage, and then the Sapphic book community and talking to other lesbians within the community and reading other books with lesbian main characters. And now and now how many times have I said lesbian in the past minute? And it's just such a difference, and this book is really what sparked that, and that's why it is my favourite, as well as just being fantastic and having amazing characters and plot and romance and all of that jazz. It's just an amazing book, and I'm so glad it exists and I read it at the time I did. I think that was just the perfect timing, and yeah. I just love it a lot. So excited for Not My Problem. Can my arc please hurry up and arrive? I need it so bad. And finally, the last prompt is, where do you see your channel in a year from now, and what do you hope to have achieved? And I'm honestly not sure what my channel is going to look like this time next year, because I will be living in either France or Spain. So at the end of this summer, I will be going on my year abroad. This is part of my university course because I study French and Spanish, and I'll be spending a semester to 6 months in France and Spain, not necessarily in that order. No idea what's happening, it's all very stressful and confusing, but hopefully it'll be a good time when I'm there. I'll chat about this all more at the time, my kind of plans for this and what that means for my channel, but right now I don't know anything about what's happening. I'm still in the whole applications phase, it's very stressful, please send good vibes. But because I'll be abroad, I won't have my bookcase behind me, I won't have many physical books, and so it'll be very different setup in videos. I don't even know if I'll be able to record, or if I might just have to record a few before I go and kind of rely on those. I don't really know, it's all very up in the air. But I would like to, while I'm abroad, do some more vlogs, because A, I need to work on my vlogging skills. B, I really like vlogs, and I think that when I'm away, vlogging when I'm away, when I'm in France and Spain, it's just gonna be really cool to be able to look back and be like, oh yeah, remember when I was away and it was so much nicer than it is here. And just remember the good times, you know? And also just show a bit of that experience to you. And I don't know, I think it's just gonna be a whole lot of fun. I really want to start making some little vlogs and bits this year, just in general, but also these kind of travel-esque vlogs, though still obviously reading based. And yeah, I'm very, very excited by it all. So in terms of what I hope to have achieved, the kind of main thing, I don't really have any subscriber goals or anything like that because that's very much an external factor that I can't control. Though it would be amazing to just continue growing as I have. I really cannot believe there's already 2,200 people here at the time of filming. That's insane, so much more than I could have ever expected or hoped for. What on earth? So when I started my channel, I set this kind of like far-fetched goal for myself, just not one that I ever spoke about publicly or that I really thought I had any chance of meeting. It was just this cool idea to work towards, which was 1,000 within a year. And then I kind of did that and blew it out of the park, and I'm just amazed. I'm so glad it happened because I don't know if I'd have continued my channel if it hadn't been an immediate success because of the type of person I am. But people did show up and watch my videos and support me, and that just meant the world and allowed me to continue. So yes, no subscriber goals for the next year because honestly, who knows? But I would love, love, love to be monetized. So I am over halfway there, and I think it's definitely going to happen within the next year. When I look at my watch time and all that and the analytics and everything, it's definitely going to happen, and that is just blowing my mind. It's so cool. I cannot believe it. To think that people want to watch me enough that YouTube's gonna give me money for it. What on earth? So if you don't have YouTube, you don't know how monetization works. Basically, you need 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours. So people need to have watched your videos for 4,000 hours, which doesn't sound like a lot, but then when you start making videos, you see it takes a good while. Like obviously I've been on here for a year and I'm just over halfway. So kind of having that context now and knowing how huge 4,000 is, the thought of people having watched my videos for that amount of time is just mind-blowing. And that's really what getting monetized represents, is that people actually watch my content. And the other thing is, my other secret wee goal, as well as that 1,000, was it'd be really fucking cool to be able to buy myself a book with money that I had made purely by talking about books. And so that is my goal with monetization, is to be able to do that. That would just be so, so cool. Another wee goal would be to start doing live streams. I have been wanting to do one for ages, but I am terrified, so I've not. I keep chickening out basically. But I would really, really love to. There's been a real uptake and trend of people doing reading sprints recently, especially with friends, and it just looks so fun. I'd love to do some, but I'm anxious, so I've not. But I would really love to. And I'm hoping that I can do a live stream on my booktube birthday, see that it's not all that scary, and then continue doing them. We'll see. But I hope that if I do, people will watch. I'm gonna guilt trip you to watch right now because I'm scared and I need that support. Anyway, that is the end of the tag, and just once again, thank you so, so, so much for the support over this past year on my channel. It genuinely, it just means the world. I cannot emphasize it enough. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And yes, thank you for watching this video as well. I hope you've enjoyed, and I will see you in another video soon.